What is going on, you guys? This is Kevin, Full Metal Ginger, and yeah, man, after months and months of promising, we're finally coming back with a vinyl update. Yeah, I'll just say it's been a crazy start to 2021 for me, and I won't go into the details, but that's pretty much the reason why I've been gone for, 2 months or so at least since I've last done a video, so it's been crazy around here. But yeah, before we get into the records, I do have a lot of other stuff that was sent to me by other YouTubers that I've been meaning to talk about. And there's let's see, there's a few things in here that I've had for at least since back in November. So I definitely wanted to come on here and be able to show my gratitude, and I didn't want anybody to think that I was just like, oh yeah, this is cool. You know, it's nothing like that at all. It's just, it's been hectic. So we'll get to that before we do the records, and we'll go ahead and get started because I got a lot to get through. I'm gonna need every bit of this. Alright, music today. For some reason I don't own all these records. It's really weird, but we have the latest one from Mgla-Age of Excuse. I've been listening to this a lot lately, and really all their records. I think I'm still missing one. Graza, I think. I'm not sure if I have it in here or not, but yeah, just beautiful, beautiful black metal. And for whatever reason, just here lately, I've been listening to this on repeat constantly, so I was like, I'll share it with you. I'm sure you all know Mgla, but anyway. Alright, so real quick, before we get to the music, I got a book in that I used to read all the time in 4th grade, and I kind of wish I'd stolen it from my 4th grade teacher. And as I always had vivid memories of this, and I was able to find this on Amazon and picked it up. Railway Ghost and Highway Horrors. So if you watch this channel enough, you know I'm a pretty big fan of the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark books. This is another one of my favorites, and I haven't read this since probably 1995 or 6, and it just kind of popped in my head one day. I was like, I wonder if I could find it, and sure enough it did, and it just came in today, so I've been kind of going down memory lane a little bit. It does have some illustrations in it. The stories aren't quite as, you know, good as the Scary Stories ones, but the illustrations are very, very good. And as the title will tell you, it's all about, you know, encountering ghosts while you're out driving or riding the railroad. And this one I remember vividly doing a jump scare in my 4th grade class, reading the story about this railroad guy that got his head cut off, and then the guy sees his ghost later. So you're reading the story, you turn the page, and you know, I don't know, just very vivid memories of that one. But I mean, this is a kid's book, and this is back when you could get away with really violent, gory imagery. But yeah, just I just wanted to share this with you. It's just a really a nice trip down memory lane for me to be able to find this and pick this up. So if you're interested, I don't know how many of you are into reading anymore this day and age. Alright, so this first bit I'm going to show you came from Eli, Dark Hymns from the Cold North, and this all came in yesterday, so I've not had the chance to listen to it yet. But he sent me a lot of progressive stuff, which is, I'll tell you right now, I'm not that I'm not a fan, but I've just not really delved into that, you know, genre a whole lot in my whole life. So this is going to be a nice little bit of homework for me to do. So we have, I'll just breeze through these. The Yes album, know very little about Yes. I've always been a fan of, you know, Owner of a Lonely Heart, and I don't know, it's just listened to it here and there, and then never really delved into any of their back catalog at all, so this would be a nice one. And we also have Captain Beyond, which apparently a lot of people are really into this. I know nothing about it, so this will be fun for me for sure. A lot of people on, you know, social media telling me this is a killer album, so really looking forward to listening to that one. And we have a Rush album. Which one is this? Signals. I'm pretty sure I've not listened to any of this one in particular, so in terms of Rush, for me it's really the early stuff. Like I said, I'm not a huge progressive fan, but I dabble in it a little bit, and I think this is more their actually this is earlier on, so this is 82, but it's definitely one I've not heard, so that's cool. And we also have a Genesis album. I think this is the self-titled full length. Most of these I haven't really listened to either, actually. I probably have. Maybe it's just like Genesis songs I just never knew the names of the songs, you know, at all. So just hearing it on the radio and stuff, so I may know a few of these. But yeah, really cool. And the one piece of metal we have, this is Nergal with the Wizard of Nerath. which I believe we've talked about this band, me and Eli going back and forth. He may have mentioned it to me once or twice, and just comes on this, not a pro tape, but a recorded tape, you know, whatever. Supposedly limited to 500 copies. I've got 348. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to listening to all this stuff. Eli, I really, really appreciate it. Thanks for sending this stuff my way. It will get played for sure. Alright, so this is the stuff that was sent probably back in November, maybe even early October. I really don't remember, so I'm sorry it's taking me so long to get to it. But anyway, this one came from Ken, from Ken's Death Metal Crypt. He sent me his band Unnatural, the Afflicted Path to Cursed Putrifaction. This is their 2020 compilation, and I'm pretty sure it's basically all the early, maybe everything they've done, honestly. But you got the Afflictions demo, Path to Ruin EP, and the Cursed EP on here. Oh, and the Coalescent Putrifaction EP. Some songs from that anyway. And what was really cool about this is when he put this out, he sent this to me specifically, and was cool enough to put me on the thanks list in here, which I've never had that happen before. That was really strange, but very, very flattering at the same time. I don't really know how to feel about it. But yeah, I'm in here somewhere. You can pick this up and look for yourself. But Ken, thank you, man. This is really, really cool of you, and really, really digging this stuff, man. Like a brutal cyanide reminiscent type of death metal. So I mean, if you're looking for a place to start, this would be a good one to pick up. Yeah, you know, sometimes you can find the actual demos and EPs circulating around, but I mean, this is a good place to find it. This is very readily available. A lot of labels are carrying this, so if you're interested, definitely check it out. Thanks, Ken. Really appreciate it. Alright, and these next several came from Lonnie, Classy Metal, which a lot of this stuff was like, dude, you didn't have to do this. They actually sent me a bunch more, and I just don't know that I can cram it all into the whole video, so I'm going to try to get to that later. That reminds me, Ken actually sent me a sticker, a natural sticker. He sent me a bunch of posters and flyers and stuff also. Then I don't know what I've done with all of them, so I wanted to make sure I at least showed that. The first thing Lonnie sent me, this was like beyond mind-blowing. So when this was released, I want to say, I don't remember, it was September or October of last year, re-released anyway on Corpse Crystal. I didn't have the money to pick it up at the time. I think I had a big mortgage payment and a whole bunch of other stuff. I was, I wasn't behind on my payments, but I was trying to get caught up so I could make the payments. So I didn't have any money. And Lonnie was cool enough to buy this for me and send it my way, which was awesome because I've been looking for this forever. This is Devourment with Molesting The Decapitated. If you know anything about this cover art, you know I'm sticking my finger on it. But yeah, man, the 1999 debut full length from Brutal Slam Death Metal Legends out of Texas. And this is one that I've been looking for forever. And like I said, it was put out on Corpse Crystal. So I'm just thrilled to have this. I can't thank Lonnie enough, honestly. And Lonnie's one of them people that's so nice and so cool that I've said, hey, many times I've said, hey, tell me what you don't have so I can send some stuff to you, because I don't want to send you like stuff that you already have. And he's like, no, dude, that's not what I do this. Like, I know that's not why you do this, but yeah, I want to return the favor, So anyone who's a pretty big Lonnie fan, please go over to his channel and just bombard his comment section and say, hey, what can Kevin send you? Please do that. That would, I'd be greatly appreciative of that. But anyway, this is awesome. I don't have enough. I don't even know the words to describe this. So. And he also sent me this, which anyone who's followed me for any amount of time knows I'm a huge Nunslaughter fan, so we're definitely adding to that. This is Upon the Altar. This is just a collection of rehearsals over, I think, let's see, between 91 and 99. And you've got several different versions of the band in here, so it's kind of cool, if you want to kind of check out how the band was early on, and then later when Jim Sadis came along. So, I mean, this goes, see, you've got one from 91, 92, 98, and 99. So, and it's actually, just the CD on there. It's actually, the audio quality is not god-awful like you'd think it would be. So that was a nice, pleasant surprise. But it doesn't matter anyway. Anything Nunslaughter, I'm definitely going to want to pick up. So thank you so much for that. We're 10 minutes in, and we're finally getting to some records. So these two Lonnie actually sent me also, and we've got the I think this is debut full length from Canis Dirus. What's the name of this? Independence to the Beast. Came out last year, I want to say. This isn't their debut. This is their third full length. I'm sorry. I don't know how I screwed that one up. This honestly could have been on my end of the year list. Really good Minnesota black metal, and just I don't know. I think I just got to it late, trying to check everything else out. That I kind of blew past it and didn't really get a chance to really fully listen to it and everything. I think it just comes on. No, it doesn't. I forgot all about this. It doesn't come on black vinyl. It's this. I don't know what you would call it. It looks white on camera, but in here it's almost like smoker wall white. Like how you go into a room with a lot of people smoke and it's just the walls are kind of turning yellow. That's kind of how this looks, so that's pretty cool there. A little different anyway. And I don't know if this is just a thing Bind Room does with a lot of stuff, but there's also a CD that comes with it, so that I'm not sure about. I want to say that's you get a lot of that with Bind Room recording stuff, but I'm not absolutely positive. But yeah, really, really cool album. If you haven't heard it, certainly go check that out. And very, very cool. And this is the last one from Lonnie I'm going to show. Like I said, he sent me a whole bunch of other stuff, but look, we're already 11 minutes in and we're barely into the records at all. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to cram it all in here. But this one is really, really fun listen. This is Invincible Force with Satan Rebellion metal. This is a Chilean band, I want to say. Pretty much your not standard black thrash, death, that type of stuff. But I mean, it's just, I mean, that's the best way I can describe it, honestly. But it's just a really fun listen. Really, really good riffs on this stuff. Definitely thoroughly enjoyed listening to this one. I believe this is their debut. Came out in 2015, I want to say. I believe this one, yeah, it's just black vinyl on that, so I won't bother with that. But you got a pretty cool inner sheet in here, I think. Well, it's not super detailed, but you know, there's your lyric sheet and everything. So, but yeah, thank you to everyone who's ever sent me anything. Eli, Lonnie, Ken, I can't say enough in terms of expressing my gratitude to you. So, if for some reason anyone watching this video doesn't know these guys, I'll leave links in the description, but I'm sure you do by now if you watch my channel at all. But, oh yeah, and Lonnie also sent me some stickers too, so I've actually been saving these this long. This one and the Unnatural sticker because I wanted to show them specifically on this video, so thank you guys, all of you, so much. I really appreciate it. Alright, so getting to the vinyl, I was actually planning for this video. This actually went through some changes when other stuff would come in, so some other stuff in here. I got plenty of records to show that, you know, everything kind of got put on the back burner, so I don't know. I'll quit rambling. This next one we have is a killer band from Denmark. This is Chaotian. I don't know, man. I've heard a lot of people try to pronounce it. I'm not even sure if that's right. But this is a compilation of, I think, the first two demos. This one's called Festering Excarnation. Love the artwork on here, by the way. And this is just some, you know, really ferocious death metal, similar to stuff like Hyperdontia or Parentalith, stuff like that. So if you're into those bands at all, you will definitely dig this. I remember when the demos came out, actually, and I just wasn't able to pick them up for whatever reason. I was probably broke at the time, so this was a nice one to be able to grab. But when I saw this come out, I was like, yeah, we got to have that one for sure. What I love about this is just the absolute ferocious guitar tone on here. It's one of the sickest sounds I've ever heard, honestly, when it comes to death metal. It's like the guitar sounds just so wet and sharp, and it's all these kind of like little tones in there I can pick out of it, but when you combine it with the bass and the vocals and the drums, it just makes it sound even more sick. It's just really, really tight music. It's just absolutely devastating on this. I think this came out last year in terms of this being as a compilation, but yeah. I'm pretty sure, no, this is actually colored vinyl, which I've forgotten about. So you get your inner sheet for both demos, and I'll show you the record real quick. And it's on this really nice swamp green yellow, which is very, very cool. I've gotten to where I'm not like super concerned with color variant anymore, but I mean, I don't know, maybe it just depends on the band or, you know, whatever it is I'm looking for. But especially when you get something like this, it's just very vibrant, very bright. It's just really stands out. I love this kind of thing. But yeah, Chaotian, great Danish band. Highly recommend them if you're into, like I was saying, Phrenolith or, you know, Hyperdontia, Cerebral Rot, that type of stuff. You will absolutely be into that. So there that is. This one's one that I wasn't originally planning on doing on this video, but I figured, you know, by the time I get around to it, everyone's going to be sick and tired of people talking about it. So I was like, let's just go ahead and do it and knock it out. It's a good album, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to, you know, just be a dick about it, but whatever. This is the debut full length from Frozen Soul-Crypt of Ice. Texas death metal band. Like I was saying, their debut on Century Media, I believe. And this album's been getting a lot of hype. Really, really good. I'm not like absolutely blown away by it by any means, but just maybe it's just the amount of hype. It's I don't want to say it's ridiculous. I mean, this is a good album, but I don't know. I just don't get why it's being so blown up. But I mean, good for them. I'm really happy for these guys. It's a very phenomenal band. I've heard them like compared to Bolt Thrower, but I would also, you know, maybe throw in, like I was saying, Cerebral Rot earlier, or Tomb Mold, that type of thing, where it's just kind of a, you know, it's a straightforward death metal, but there's also a lot of, you know, really swampy sounds in there too. And also there's like some chugs kind of hidden in there too. It's almost like a hint of some slams in there. So, I mean, there's a lot going on with it. So, I mean, it's definitely a very diverse album. It's not, each song, it's kind of, it's got its similar sounds to it, but, you know, everything has its own ebbs and flows and kind of goes its own way. So, I mean, it's a very interesting album. And what was cool, I don't think this is, you know, like a rare variant or anything, but it comes on this nice cold ice blue color. So that's awesome, actually. I went on Holy Mountain the other day and saw they had a Frozen Soul shirt, and I was like, well, let's check out, see what they have on here. And they had a Sub-Zero shirt, like with actual Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero, and I was like, oh, we gotta have that. So you might be seeing me wearing that here on the channel sometime soon. But yeah, really, really good album. Probably for me, like, you know, complaining about the hype on it, it's just I've not listened to this a crap ton. I would say probably a good 5, 6, 7 listens, but that's not saying anything bad about it. I'm just kind of like, you know, there's plenty of good stuff on Maggot Stomp. I don't know why, you know, they're getting blown up like this. I mean, that's where they came from, obviously, but still, a really, really good album. I'm not denigrating this band, I promise you. It's just, I don't know, just me trying to find something to nitpick it, because whatever. Anyway, yeah, really good album, Frozen Soul, Crypt of Ice. Go check it out. Alright, so these next 4 are all classic albums, and a lot of them I hadn't even bothered to get around to for whatever reason. A couple of them I just couldn't find, and some other ones it was like, yeah, it's past time. This one is one that I've been looking for a while. I don't know why it took me so long to get this. But this is old Japanese black metal classic. We've got Sigh with Scorn Defeat. It's their 1993 debut. I think this came out on, I mean, this is a reissue, obviously, but I want to say it was on Peacefield back then also. I'm not positive, but yeah, been meaning to get this for a long time. An absolutely certifiable classic. I remember when I first heard this, actually, I was like, did not like the vocals at all, just where they're scratchy, but they seem like kind of like they're done half-assed. But I mean, now when I look at it, it's just, oh, that just makes it a little more of an interesting style. So definitely stoked to have this in my collection finally. Comes on a nice white vinyl. I've got a lot of white vinyl today. I've got another one actually I'm getting ready to show you, so prepare for that. But yeah, when it comes to Sigh, I'll be honest and say I've not listened to a ton of their stuff. I know they went to a more avant-garde black metal style in later years. It might have just been just straight up avant-garde stuff, so I don't recall. But I'm not ultra familiar with any of their discography. This photo rules, by the way. Just soak that in. But when it comes to the early material, especially this one, it's stuff I've been a fan of for a long time, and it's just nice to finally be able to have it in the collection. So there's that. Alright, the rest of these are just everyone knows, so I may not spend too much time with them, but when it comes to this band, it's a band that I've been a fan of for a long time, and I don't have a lot of stuff for whatever reason. Not like it's not readily available, but I mean, I don't know, it's like every time I go to, you know, get one of their albums, I see something else I really want, and I just end up passing it over. So this is another one where it's like, dude, you gotta have this one. Why don't you? Anyway, Marduk, Panzer Division Marduk, largely considered one of their best, if not their best album of all time. It's their 1999 full length, I believe. I believe it's the 6th overall. Yeah, I don't own that many Marduk albums, and I don't know why that is. Just weird, actually. I'll show you the record real quick. Another white one. I won't pull it out of this plastic. I mean, there's nothing really on the labels to look at. But yeah, I know this is probably a cliche thing to say, but I mean, that album is one of my favorites ever. Probably Opus Nocturne, and I would honestly say Frontschwein. I've always really dug that album. So those would probably be my top 3 favorites, but this is one I had to have. I mean, there's not a Marduk album I don't like, so eventually I'll get around to getting them all. It's just one of those bands that just there's so much out there, and it's hard for me to really kind of which band I'm really going to focus on getting all their discography. So that's just kind of where we are with that. But yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone can deny what a killer album this is. Osmos put this out. I can't remember if they had it out originally, so clearly a reissue. Alright, these last two from my favorite band ever. One of them, probably top 3 favorite death metal bands of all time. And I think most people would probably agree with that, honestly. But we got a couple EPs, and they're on 12-inch vinyl for whatever reason. This is, I want to say their first actual EP. This is the follow-up to Severed Survival. We have Autopsy-Retribution For The Dead. Maybe not the direct follow-up. I think there was a split they had in there. Who was that with? Paradise Lost, maybe? I want to say it was them. It might have been like a one-song, split for both bands. But, this is pretty much one song that I don't remember if it appeared anywhere else. And then you've got a couple songs that were on Mental Funeral, Destined to Fester, and In the Grip of Winter. And, so, yeah, that's basically all there is to it. It's pretty much what you would expect, early era Autopsy. And the record is just on black, I believe. But I like the labels. Really go with that blue from the cover. That side's blue and the other side being black. That's just, I like when you get stuff like that. It's not really a huge deal, but I mean, if you're going to do black, then, make it count, make it look good, man. It definitely does, so. Yeah, pretty much the lead into Mental Funeral and a nice taste of what would come on a little bit later. So, again, sort of like some of these other bands, like I'm trying to do eventually with Marduk. Autopsy is a band that I need everything from. Nunslaughter, Autopsy, several other bands, but Autopsy's definitely getting some love right now. And speaking of Mental Funeral, we have the follow-up EP from that album, which is Fiend For Blood. I think this came around in 91, I want to say. I may be wrong about that. Someone can correct me on that. And it's pretty much the end of this era, actually, of early Autopsy, from the early demos, Critical Madness, up to Severed Survival, into Mental Funeral. This is probably basically the last time you would hear stuff like this, early era Autopsy, because after this they would go into the more grindy, shorter song style like they had on Acts of the Unspeakable. And they would kind of get back to that on Shit Fun, sort of. You had slower songs on there too, but they were also very short, and then you had some faster stuff. So this to me is, the end of that era, the early stuff. And don't get me wrong, I love, those subsequent albums. Acts of the Unspeakable is very underrated. Shit Fun is too, in my opinion. But there's still something very, very special about the early days of Autopsy, and to me this is always kind of like the last, the last bit of that. So, well, I haven't been on here in months, and I'm still just can't come up with anything to say. But the labels are very similar on this one, so this is another one that I've been looking for a while. I mean, again, it's not like it's hard to find. It's just, me kind of stumbling across it one day. It's like, yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll have that. So, Autopsy, Fiend For Blood. So yeah, I kind of ran through that a little quicker than I expected, but I wanted to make sure I, showed some stuff from my other dudes on here that I love so much and I really appreciate. But I don't know. I've got a list here somewhere. Sorry. So So I've got a lot of stuff to get to. I have literally 3 full pages of stuff I haven't talked about yet. I wanted to make sure I wrote it down so I can remember to cover it. So we've got a lot of stuff to get to. I'm probably going to try to shorten the videos in terms of the amount of stuff I show, just because I'm so busy right now. It's just hard to get to a lot of stuff and be able to listen to it enough to give you a quality review on it. So I may shorten that up a little bit, and we'll just see how it goes. Maybe cut it down to maybe 5 or 6 albums that we'll talk about on here. But next, I don't know, plenty of tapes. I think I counted 45 I haven't shown, and at least probably close to 80 in terms of CDs I haven't talked about yet. So I don't know what we'll do, and I've actually got a box that came in today that I'm not even opened yet, so there's plenty of stuff in there. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and sticking with me while I was gone. I'm gonna try my best to, that's the reason I was going to shorten the amount of stuff I'm doing, so I can actually get in here and start being consistent. That's the only thing I could think to do, really. But yeah, that's all I got for you. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Definitely go subscribe to those guys down below, and if you're interested in any of this music, I'll have links for that too. So I really appreciate it, and see you next time.